now from here, I would request Saurabh sir to take over from here because he is somebody who is amazingly talented to reflect, upon your presentations and give inputs. So over to Saurabh sir from here.
Thank you so much, sir, and very good evening and Jai Hind, everyone. Sunbeam. Each and every time Sunbeam takes up challenges, do something innovative, make a difference, and raise the benchmark. And hence the borders from Sunbeam coming from the different parts of the country, I must say, when they go out, they excel, they scratch, and they make difference in others' life as well. With this motive and with this concept, we have come up with this amazing idea to let our borders come up with the beautiful stories and facts about the region they belong to. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something which will put you on an amazing mode, you know, where all these young minds would come up with some amazing artifacts as well as info facts about their own region. India is a country with lot many stories. India is a country where you can keep traveling and won't get bored ever. So let us know some of these places where you have even not thought of to come, or maybe you have not ever thought of to scratch the city. And here I request and I welcome on board our boarder from Sunbeam Hostel Bhagwanpur. I request our boarder from Sunbeam Hostel Bhagwanpur to please join us for the presentation.
Thank you, sir. Good evening in Jain to the present gathering. I am Arya Rai of class 12th from Sunbeam School Bhagwanpur, presenting before you the rediscovering roots of Ranchi with my co-partners Kuljot, Vanshika and Nandini of class 9th. The place is also known as the land of waterfalls, the beauty of water droplets dancing together, the place that gifted our national cricket team captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the one who did not require colossal figures but composure. His equanimity is virtue of his righteous position in team. The city is famous for its ethnic handicrafts and metalworks, all of which are exhibited at Firzialad, one of the most popular shopping destinations of for the tribal souvenirs. It has more interesting life than the life existing within it. I have heard trees motivating roads and walls every morning by saying, just remember that you are always unique because you exist in Ranchi. So here we are presenting before you the unwalked parts of the land of waterfalls. So I would like to call Kuljot to take you all through that trail and unlock the amazing journey of the city.
Good morning and Jai Hind everyone. Location of Ranchi. Ranchi is the capital city of Jharkhand state in northeastern India. It lies along the Subarnarekha River. Ranchi was constituted a municipality in 1869. The city has major rail and road connections and is the center of the region's agricultural, cotton, and tea trade. Silk production and the manufacture of shellac and heavy machine tools are the city's major industries. Ranchi is situated on the Ranchi Plateau of the eastern Chota Nagpur Plateau system, with lofty flat-topped hills, also known as Pats, in the northwest, and an escarpment to the east and south of the city, from which several scenic waterfalls tumble, marks the edge of the plateau.
Ranchi district is one among the 24 districts of the state of Jharkhand in eastern India. This region was under the control of Magad Empire, followed by Mauryan Empire under Ashoka, and later a part of Gupta Empire. As of 2011 Indian census, its municipal corporation has a population of 29,40,253, making it the 46th largest urban city in India. Males constitute 51.3% of the population and females 48.7%. Ranchi has an average literacy rate of 87.68%. The city witnessed a sudden surge in population after the declaration of the new state of Jharkhand in 2000, owing to the rising employment opportunities and opening of numerous regional and state level offices, banks, and FMCG companies. The city witnessed a rapid influx of employment seeking migrants. Language: Hindi is the official language of France. Nagpuri is Nagpuri is the language of the region. The tribal language Mundari is also spoken by the Mundar tribe. Religion: Hinduism is the prominent religion of France. Islam is the second most followed religion in the city. Minorities are Christians, Sikhs, Jains, and Buddhists.
The mystery behind Ranchi's name. According to one popular tale, Captain chose Archie, a Orang tribal village, as headquarters. Archie means bamboo forest in local Nagpuri dialect. The British inadvertently named Archie as Ranchi. According to another local story, the name of Ranchi comes from local bird named Riki, which was mostly found in the Pahari Mandir premises. Up to 1927, the place was known as Ranchi. Riki is named for black kite in Mundara, the modern-day landmark of Ranchi city. The Pahari Mandir is also known as Riki Buru, the hill of kites.
Now let us take a look at the famous personalities born in Ranchi. Dhoni, former captain of Indian cricket team, known as the greatest captain of all time, having achieved more success than any other captain in the history of cricket. Anjana Kashyap is an Indian journalist, news presenter, and an executive editor of the Hindi news channel Aaj Tak, a prolific debater who exhibits strong leadership qualities. Deepika Kumari, an Indian athlete who competes in the event of archery, is currently ranked world number 9. She was conferred the Arjuna Award and also the civilian honor of the Padma Shri in 2006. Alisha Singh is an Indian television actress, a dancer, and choreographer. She was also the winner in many reality shows on Indian television.
Now let's have some look at the historical facts of Ranchi. The early evidence of use of several iron slags, pot sets, iron tools found in Chotanagpur region around 1400 and BC. Magadha Empire exercised indirect control over the region under the reign of Ashoka. Armies of Samudragupta passed through this region on their expedition to Deccan Plateau. Magavanshi region, Raja Pratap Rai chose Chutia as his capital, which is now a place in Ranchi. Few ruins of Chutia trace back to 2nd century. With the expansion of the Mughal Empire, the sovereign status of Nagavanshi dynasty was technically affected, but they continued to rule and administer independently. King of Jagannath Thakur Aninath Shahadio built Jagannath Temple in 1691. After the Battle of Buxar, Nagavanshi became vassal of East India Company. British reduced Nagavanshi rulers to Jamindar in 1817. In 1833, Captain Williamson established headquarters of Southwest Frontier in the neighborhood of the present-day Ranchi village. Thakur Vishwanath Shahado Pandey Ganpat Rai played a pivotal role in Indian rebellion of 1857. British made Ranchi as municipality in 1869. Freedom fighter Birsa Munda died in Ranchi jail on 9 June 1900. Uh, the ruler of Nagavanshi dynasty was Lal Chintamani Sharan, which was the last ruler of this dynasty. After the formation of the Jharkhand state in 2000, Ranchi became the capital city of Jharkhand. Now, let's have some glance at the beautiful places to visit in Ranchi. The first most beautiful place to visit here is Tagore Hill. It is also known as Morabadi Hill, situated in the Morabadi district of Ranchi. It around 300 feet high and 4 kilometers from Albert Eka Chowk. Now next is the Kanke Dam, a perfect gateway for a family planning. Next beautiful temple here is Pahadi Mandir, which is a temple located in the hilltop of Ranchi and is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Next bewildering place to visit in Ranchi is Nakshatra Van, a very beautiful park created by the Forest Department of Jharkhand, which is in the front of the residence of Governor of Jharkhand. Next comes a very beautiful lake situated in the heart of Ranchi. The name says Ranchi Lake. And last but not the least, Jagannath Mandir, a very beautiful and auspicious temple situated in Ranchi, was built by Jagannath Thakur Aninath Shahador in 1691.
Economic status. Ranchi is growing and expanding at a rapid pace. Increased economic activities and infrastructure development has resulted in extensive urbanization, as a result of which urban and semi-urban areas are expanding. Ranchi has been selected as one of the 100 Indian cities to be developed by a smart city under PM Narendra Modi's flagship Smart Cities mission. Ranchi, being the capital of Jharkhand, is an important center of trade and commerce in the state. The high literacy rate, hardworking people, stable political environment, and availability of basic facilities make a favorable environment for business to flourish in the area. The government is offering lucrative schemes to draw investments to the city of Ranchi. All types of businesses can be found in Ranchi, from small daily need shops, medical stores, ready-made garments to high-end branded stores. At last, I would just like to conclude by saying a few lines on Ranchi. Ranchi, a city marked by its splendor. It's not just a name, it's a feeling. The culture, the people, everything about Ranchi is different from others. Let's explore the massive potential of Ranchi, being one of the hotspots of tourism, by visiting the place, this time in person. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Wow, very well spoken. Team of Arya, Kuljot, and Miss Khetan all presented things so well. Well, Kuljot, I have one thing, a question actually. Suppose you were talking about the regional languages. Now, say us something in your regional language.
In
Anything. Means anything, yeah.
my regional language,
Yes, your regional language.
well, my regional language is Punjabi.
Yes.
So, so Shashikal, मेरा नाम कुलजोत कौर
Oh,
है.
wow. Now, Kuljot, I intentionally asked this to you. Why? Instead of having Punjabi as your mother tongue, instead of having your roots from Punjab, so instead of having all these things, you still know what to know and how to learn about the other culture, about Chhattisgarh and about Jharkhand, about Ranchi. You directly took a flight from Punjab and you came to Jharkhand and you learned a lot of Jharkhand oriented things. You spoke a lot about Ranchi. This is something which is amazing. This is the beauty of India. So with this, I truly await you people and congratulations to the entire team. I think now let me move from Bhagwanpur to Lehertara. So the borders of Sunbeam School and Hostel Lehertara. Where are you taking us today?
Jai Hind, sir.
Hi Vatsal, Jai Hind.
So we will go to Shivan.
So we are almost ready to go and explore Sivan. This is something which is amazing. Again, we are at the station of Sivan Junction and one more city. The beauty is we don't explore these cities which are almost under the carpet. And India has so much to offer, especially the cities which have this roots with the culture, with the tradition. So, Veer, Vatsal, is it okay now? Are you ready?
Good evening, everyone. Today, I, along with my friend Vatsal, both are here to give you a tour of Swan. So, I would request you all to please get inside the train so that we can enjoy the ride. Next slide. So, our first station we are going to stop is Descriptive Station. This station is made for providing us some of the brief knowledge about Sivan. So, starting the population of Sivan, which is about 33,30,465 as per the 2011 survey. The total area of Sivan is 2,219 kilometers square. The literacy rate of Sivan is 7.59%. The sex ratio of Sivan is 984. Just like its culture, even the cuisine of Sivan is unique and diversified. There are traditional dishes available such as sabzi, roti, dal, bhati, and some of the famous recipes offered by Sivan are litti chokha, kadhi, jhalmuri, and sattu. Now let's come on to the festivals which are celebrated in Sivan. Chhat Puja and the Makar Sankranti are the most famous festivals of Sivan. People participate in these festivals with great enthusiasm. Now, friends, let's come on to the next junction, which is Formation Junction. Now, here we are going to tell you how Sivan got in the formation. Sivan was declared a district following the new jurisdiction 1972. And in 1973, Gopalganj was removed from Sivan to constitute a separate district. Sivan now comprises of 13 blocks along with two additional blocks which are Bhagwanpur and Basantpur blocks. Recently, Sivan has got four more blocks which are Lakri Nabiganj, Nautan, Jiradei, Haspur. But only Lakri Nabiganj is functional as of now. Now friends, we are going to the next station which is known as the history station. Actually, this is a small station which is going to describe us that how Sin got its name and which were the empires which ruled here. The city got its name from the Kings which were known as Sivan Man. It is also believed that even Maharajganj got its name from the Maharajas who ruled here. Sivan is also known as the Aliganj Savan. During the 8th century, Sivan was a part of Banaras kingdom, and after the Banaras kingdom, it became the part of the Dutch Empire. And following them, Britishers occupied Sivan. And after the Battle of Buxar, the area of Sivan, which was and its surrounding parts, were made into the parts of Bengal. Now, friends, it's the time for me to leave, but now my Vatsal is here to carry on with this wonderful journey. Thank
Hello friends, I am Vatsal and I am your new guide for this journey. So next station which is coming on is Struggle Station. The station describes the participation of Sivan in freedom struggle. Sivan was one of the foremost center of freedom struggle. Sivan was not just active in freedom struggle, but this place was active in social movements. One of the movement was Anti-Purdan movement, initiated by Braj Kishore Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the renowned freedom fighter who went on to become the first president of India, belonged to Jiradei, a village in Sivan. Maulana Mazharul Haq, another great social activist who is even today remembered for his promotion of Hindu-Muslim unity. Now, this is our last station, which is Facts Station. The facts are as follows. Mahatma Gandhi, during the Champaran movement, stayed at Dr. Rajendra Prasad house at Jiradei. The chowki on which Mahatma Gandhi slept is still preserved as a memory and tribute to Father of the Nation. 27 kilometers from Sivan is a city called Thave, where a historical temple of Durga is there. Most of the people in Sivan are related to Arab countries. The nearest airport from Sivan is Patna, 132 kilometers from Sivan. The first president of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, was born in Jiradei, 20 kilometers from Sivan. Friends, this was really a great journey. I hope you all would have enjoyed the journey. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Okay.
Then, boys, sorry, Saurabh, I'll just interrupt for a while.
Right.
Devashish, sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll request you to revoke the admin rights, the co-host rights of Lahartara and Bhagwanpur students, right?
Okay,
And
sir.
also, yeah, and the second thing, Sun City students are in. So Sun City students, if you can please raise your hand. Bipasha and Avriti Jaiswal. Bipasha and Avriti.
To Vatsal and Veer. Well, very well presented, Sivan. I would be adding few more things. I am very sure you would have researched, but to lot many people there, Sivan holds a very important place in Indian politics. In the Indian politics and in its history, for all the freedom fighters, Sivan from Bihar has been one of the hotspot during the independence, during the freedom fightings. So this place was a hotspot for all the political movements. Even Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, when he started his journey for the movements, he visited there. He stayed there for a few months. Mazrul, uh, Maulana Mazrul Haq, yeah, he belonged to Sivan. In fact, the very first president of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he belongs to Sivan. So this makes the city very prominent. It's one of the heritage cities from where the very first president of independent India comes up. So with this, thank you so much. And now let's gradually move from Sivan to a different destination. And here I welcome and I request our boarders from Sunbeam, Sun City to please join us with their presentation.
Good evening, sir. Jai Hind.
Good evening, Bipasha. How have you been doing?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Good, absolutely good. Thank you for joining. Now stage is all yours.
Thank you, sir. Sir, today we'll be moving and we'll be visiting Jaunpur in Uttar Pradesh.
Bipasha, can you be slightly louder?
Am I audible now, sir?
Yes, Bipasha. Please go
Very
ahead.
good. Yes.
So today we'll be visiting Jaunpur in Uttar Pradesh, and I hope that you like the trip. So here we have our Jaunpur. We are going to discover Jaunpur today. Let's start. So Jaunpur is a city, and 1 minute. Jaunpur is a city and a municipal board in Jaunpur district in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. It is located 228 kilometers southeast of state capital Lucknow. Jaunpur is located to the northwest of the district of Varanasi in the eastern part of the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Demographically, Jaunpur resembles the rest of the Purvanchal area in which it is located. Here is a brief history of Jaunpur. Jaunpur is on the banks of the Gomti River, and it lies in the and there is our city of Jaunpur. It is named after the controversial Delhi Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq, whose real name was Jona Khan. Jaunpur offers ample clues to its rich history in the many exquisite monuments that dot the town. Here is a piece of history of Jaunpur for you. So, Jaunpur is actually related to the Vedic age. Let us see how. So, according to the Hindu beliefs, Rishi Jamdagni was one of the Saptarishis, or 7 great sages of Hindu civilization. Lord Parshuram, we all know Lord Parshuram. He was the 6th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and he was Rishi Jamdagni's son. So the place, the ashram where Rishi Jamdagni stayed was in Jaunpur, and right now in present times, his ashram has been converted into a very popular temple. The cultural importance of Jaunpur. Jaunpur was an important center which was known for imparting knowledge of Sufi culture and Urdu in the bygone area. Jaunpur carries this blend of 2 religions in their indigenous art as well. The natives are also skilled at ivory carving, jewelry making, and perfume making.
Silver is the most commonly used metal in jewelry making. Jaunpur is very famous for its attar. Also, we know it as perfumes. The perfumes are made using jasmine flowers, vetiver, saffron, kevra, and agar. The geographical importance and the climate of Jaunpur. Jaunpur's climate is warm and temperate. In nature, the summer season in Jaunpur begins in March and goes on until June. The temperatures during the summer range between 25 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. The city's monsoon begins in July and ends in September. During the monsoon season, Jaunpur experiences heavy rain. The city remains wet and humid throughout the monsoon season. Jaunpur's winter season starts in November and continues through February. The winter season is very pleasant with temperature ranging between 9 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. These, if you ever visit Jaunpur, these are the places which you must definitely visit. Some of the most popular landmarks are Shahi Bridge, the mosques of Jaunpur, the Shahi Killa of Jaunpur, the Jaunpur museums, the Jamdagni Ashram, the Trilochan Mahadev temple, the Mehar Devi, and the Shitala Chowkiya. Now I give it over to my friend Avriti to continue from here.
A very good evening and Jai Hind everyone. So the first place is Shahi Fort. Also known as Kerala Fort, the Shahi Killa of Jaunpur was constructed on the banks of the Gomti.
Avriti, you need to take your mic a bit closer.
Okay, sure.
You have to unmute.
Yes, sir. The first place is Shahi Fort. Also known as Kerala Fort, the Shahi Killa of Jaunpur was constructed on the banks of Gomti River. Shahi Killa was conquered on many occasions by Shahi British, Mughals, and the British. A major part of the fort was built in 14th and 15th century under the Shahi. Shahi Killa was built from
Avriti, I want to stop you. Your voice, you are not audible. Avriti. You are not clearly audible. There is slight disturbance, and we all can wait and we can fix up whatever trouble is there. Just check out once again.
And in case if that goes in, you can put your video of Avriti and can speak. At times the network helps that way.
So now I am audible?
Yes.
Okay, I am keeping my video off. Shahi Fort, also known as Kerala Fort, the Shahi Killa of Jaunpur was constructed on the banks of Gomti River. Shahi Killa was conquered on many occasions by Shariks, Lodis, Mughals, and the British. A major part of the fort was built in 14th and 15th centuries under the Sakti Sultanate. Talking about its structure, at the top there is a huge tomb. From this fort, an enchanting view of the Gomti River and the city can be seen. Inside there is a bar in the Turkish style and the mosque. At present, only its eastern gate remains. They narrate the tale of its ancient splendor.
Next up is Pillar of Ibrahim Shah. Ibrahim Shah's pillar. This pillar is nearby the Shahi Masjid. It was built by Ibrahim Naib Barbak and has Buddhist and Bengali elements in its architecture. The tall pillar raised near the mosque in 1395 CE marks the celebrated reign of Sultan Ibrahim Shah, under whom the Sharqi Sultanate reached its zenith. Next up, we have the Kotwal Killa. The other pillar was installed by some Killa Kotwal in 1769 CE. It has a 17-line Persian inscription which reflects the communal harmony of Jaunpur. The inscription can be translated as, I administer oath to a Muslim in the name of God and his Prophet. And if he is a Hindu, I give him the oath in the name of Ram, Ganges, and the Triveni Sangam. If he does not act upon this deed, he will be cursed by God and his Prophet. And if God wishes, his face will be blackened on the resurrection day and he will go.
Abriti, it's not audible, beta, if you are talking. Don't worry, no need to hassle. Go easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
You're audible now, yes.
Okay. Bhol Bhulaiya. Another structure built inside the Jaunpur fort is the Bhol Bhulaiya. In reality, it was a Turkish hammam built under the Sharqi Sultans and had provisions for hot and cold underground water supply. The passage to the hammam was confusing that it came to be known as Bhol Bhulaiya. This mosque stands on the same site where the celebrated temple of Atala Devi once stood. The temple was demolished by Ibrahim Naim and 13.
Abriti, again, you are not audible.
Avriti, you are muted. You are on mute. Avriti.
I have a long network issue.
Don't worry, it happens. This is something which is very genuine. So if you have a network issue, Bipasha, if you want to continue, you can please continue. That is what the teamwork is all about. Don't worry.
Bipasha, please continue.
The next is in line we have Jinjiri Masjid. This mosque was built by Sultan Ibrahim Shah in reverence to the great saint Sayyid Sadar Jahan Ajmal. The mosque stands at the site where the temple built by Vijay Chandra called Mukta Ghat once stood. The mosque is known for its intricate lattice work and detailed pylon. The mosque was destroyed by severe floods on the Gomti, and what is left of the grand shrine is just its main facade, which holds screens that are carved heavily in stone. The Lal Darwaza Masjid. This mosque was constructed by Queen Rajia Bibi, wife of Sultan Muhammad Shah, eldest son and successor of Sultan Ibrahim Shah. The mosque was built in typical Sharqi style in 1447 CE and is dedicated to Sufi saint Sayyid Ali Dawood Qutbuddin. It was the Queen's private mosque, and she established a school or madrasa around the mosque which exists today. It was named Jamia Hussaina. Although no red building materials were used inside the mosque, the shrine got its name because its main gateway has been painted red ever since it was built. Next, we have the Jama Masjid. Also known as Badi Masjid, the Jama Masjid of Jaunpur is the largest Friday congregation mosque in the city. It was built during the reign of the last Sharqi Sultan Hussain Shah between 1458 and 1478 CE. The Pishtaq and Iwan of the mosque are made in typical Shaki style, where the pylon has an arc that soars upward without restriction. The mosque is built on a raised plinth, and the main facade has intricate work with elements borrowed from Hindu architecture as well. The Shahi Bridge. Munim Khan started building the Shahi Bridge at Jaunpur. The bridge, also known as Akbari Bridge, was completed in 1567 CE and was made in Mughal style with pillared arches supporting the road. The bridge suffered serious damage during the 1934 earthquake, and 7 of its arches had to be repaired to bring it back to use. This bridge is a prime Mughal structure in the city. The tomb of Feroz Shah Tughlaq. Contemporary historians claim that the tomb of Sultan Feroz Shah Tughlaq lies in the Hauz Khas complex of Delhi, the same place which has a historic Hauz. If you ever visit Jaunpur, you will realize that there is one more tomb that is said to be the real resting place of Sultan Feroz Shah Tughlaq. It is richly made up and appears to be a befitting place for a sultan. The tomb is a protected monument under the Archaeological Survey of India. That is all from us. Jaunpur was like a little cookie of historical tourism for you all. Thank you. Hope you liked visiting Jaunpur.
Well, I personally really loved visiting Jaunpur with you. And I must tell you, I think most of our fellow members in the house right now will be amazed to know so many things about Jaunpur. When we say that Varanasi and Jaunpur, they are cousin sisters. And what do we go and take out from Jaunpur? So we take out so many things. There is a replica of Jama Masjid. There is a replica of Bhul Bhulaiya. There is a replica of Maihar Devi temple. So people, if they cannot go to Satna Maihar in MP, they can go there. If they can't go to Lucknow and excel the Bhul Bhulaiya from Lucknow, they can come and get the essence of Bhul Bhulaiya from Jaunpur. So Jaunpur has got so many things very well researched. I am truly, I am wowed up to see your research, each one of you all.
Thank you,
it takes a lot of effort to, research, and then you line up things so well. The Shahi Bridge few years back again went under construction.
Yes, sir.
Because it's one of the major link of Jaunpur to the other parts. So it went under construction, and again, it's under preservation. By the way, Bipasha, can you tell me, and even Avritti, hats off to you, and don't feel that you didn't perform. You really performed so well. Network jo hai na, wo kisi ka saga nahi hai, so you don't worry about it. Okay, we will again listen to something else from your end. By the way, I want to know, what do you feel? You spoke a lot about the historical influence of Jaunpur. Do you know there are so many delicious things which comes out from Jaunpur?
Yes, I did research about that too. I found out that Jaunpur follows the Awadhi cuisine, and it is very famous for Imarti there.
Yes.
Imarti is made and it's very famous for its Awadhi cuisine.
Yes, it's very famous for the Awadhi cuisine. Imarti is a very prominent delicacy. The proportion of the dal which makes the batter is also different. Even the musk melon, there is a place called Jamaitha, if I am not mistaken,
Yes, sir. Yes,
at
sir.
Jaunpur. So from there, the musk melon, which is very good in quality, like it's said to be more than the honey in its sweetish tone. And apart from that, the radish which is being farmed and grown in the areas in the lands of Jaunpur are sweet in texture. उनका size भी अलग होता है, and they are winter veggies. So in the winter when we get mooli radish from Jaunpur, they are the best in quality. So apart from all these historical things, they have so many delicious food. Now and thank you so much, Bipasha and Avriti, thank you so much. And before I move ahead, well, I have a very short quiz question. It just popped up on my head. I would love to share as well as get the answer from each one of you all. You know Taj Mahal very well, and you know Qutub Minar very well. Now my question is, which one is taller, Taj Mahal or Qutub Minar? You can give me the answer either by unmuting or putting your answer in the chat box. Which one is taller? एक सही होगा, एक गलत होगा. So don't hesitate. Answer out. Taj Mahal or Qutub Minar? And don't Google, please. More you take time, more I feel that you are going and asking Google uncle.
Sir, I think the Qutub Minar.
Okay. It's Bipasha, I feel.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who else? Vatsal, what do you feel? Is Vatsal here? I don't. Okay, never mind. So, Taj Mahal is taller. Taj Mahal is taller than Qutub Minar by 0.5 meters. So, Taj Mahal is around 73 meters and Qutub Minar is 72.5 meters. So, 0.5 meters lamba hai Taj Mahal. So, with this, I take this journey ahead and I request the boarders from Sunbeam Hostel Varuna to please join us on board and start with their presentation. Awesome.
Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Over to the students.
So it was unable to unmute us.
Okay.
No worries, no worries. It's all your time and plot. Please do start. Are you now able
Now
to
you can
connect?
mute. Now you can unmute. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Do start, please.
Good evening, Jain, to one and all present over here. I, Khushi.
And I, Sakiba,
are here for rediscovering the roots. And we will tell you about the heritage city, Devariya. Introduction about Devariya. Devariya district is one of the districts of eastern Uttar Pradesh, India. India has its headquarters located at Devariya and is a part of Gorakhpur division. It came into existence on 16th March 1946 from Gorakhpur district. History of the district. Ancient history. Devariya district was once a part of Kosala kingdom, a prime center of ancient Aryan culture surrounded by the Himalayas in the north, Chantika rivers in the south, the Panchala kingdom in the west, and the Magad kingdom, Bihar, to the east. Archaeological remains such as statues, coins, bricks, temples. This area was under the control of Maurya rulers, the Gupta rulers, the Bihar rulers, and then the Garhwal rulers, Govind Chandra from 1114 AD until 1154 AD.
modern history. The Devariya district came into existence on 16th of March 1946. Being separated from the Gorakhpur district, it is believed that the name Devariya is derived from Devranya or Devpuriya. According to the official gazetteers, the district was named Devariya after its headquarters in Devariya, and the term Devariya generally means a place where there are temples. The name Devariya probably developed because of the existence of important temples in this area.
During freedom struggle of India, the district joined struggle under the leadership of Pandit Vibhuti Mani Tripathi of village Dehroli, Rudrapur.
Geographical area of the city. Devaria district is located between 26 degrees 6 minutes and 26 degrees 48 minutes north latitude to 83 degree 23 minutes and 84 degree 16 minutes east longitude. It is surrounded by Kushinagar district in the north, Gopalganj and Siwan districts of Bihar in the east, Mau and Balia district in the south, and Gorakhpur district in the west. Khagara, Rapti, Choti Gandak are the main rivers of the district. Devaria district consists of 16 blocks.
Languages. At the time of the 2011 census of India, 98.52% of the population in the district spoke Hindi and 1.40% in Urdu as their first language. Vernaculars spoken in Devaria include Bhojpuri language and also spoken Hindi with English language. Almost 40,000 speakers written in both the Devanagari and the Kathri.
Famous Educational Institute of Devaria. Government Inter College. Government Inter College Devaria or GIC Devaria is a historical college located in the district and is 2 kilometers away from Devaria railway station and 2.9 kilometers away from Devaria bus stand. The old name of this college was King Edward High School. It was established on 8th October 1912.
Baba Raghav Das Postgraduate College. It is situated in Devaria district. Established in 1954, it is accredited from AICTE and is affiliated to Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gorakhpur University. This college offers 6 courses across 3 streams, namely arts, science, and agriculture, and across 4 degrees like BSc, BA, and MA.
Famous personalities from Devaria. Shri Prakash Mani Tripathi. Prakash Mani Tripathi was born on 30th June 1935. He is an Indian politician and a former member of Lok Sabha from Devaria parliamentary constituency.
Nipendra Mishra was born on 8 March 1945. He is a retired 1967 batch IAS officer from the UP who served as Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister of India from 2014 to 2019. He has also served as the Chairperson of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India as an IAS officer. Nipendra Mishra served in various positions for both the Government of India and the Government of Uttar Pradesh as an IAS officer.
Surya Pratap Shahi. Surya Pratap Shahi was born on 23rd December 1952. He was the member of 9th, 11th, 13th and 17th Legislative Assembly of Uttar Pradesh. Currently, he is serving as Cabinet Minister in Uttar Pradesh government with a portfolio of agriculture, agriculture education and agriculture research.
Motilal Upadhyay was a Bhojpuri poet, writer, and a lyricist. He has written many Bhojpuri poems, novels, and lyrics of Bollywood and Bollywood films. He received many awards for his work.
Famous food, Bati Chokha. Litti, along with chokha, is a complete meal originated from Indian state of Bihar. It is also popular in Jharkhand and parts of eastern Uttar Pradesh. Main ingredients of bati are vegetables, gram flour, ghee, spice, whole wheat flour, seasoning.
Jalebi, also known as julbia, jilapi, mushabak, and zalebia, is an Arab and Indian sweet snack popular all over South Asia and the Middle East. It is made by deep frying maida flour batter in pretzel or circular shape, which are then soaked in a sugar syrup. This dessert can be served warm or cold.
Famous monuments, Hanuman Temple. Hanuman Temple is located at Raghav Nagar, Devaria, and is one of the Siddh places of Devaria. A large number of followers can be seen on each Tuesday. It is surrounded by a big pond in which you can see various types of fishes, explore interesting themes, fabulous designs, colorful landscapes, amusing characters, ambient music, props, and merchandise available in nearby stores at all one place.
Durgdeshwar Mandir. It is one of the oldest historical Shiv temples situated at approx 2 kilometers from Rudrapur town. There are several types of assumptions about this temple. The temple is founded by Rudrapur Maharaj, where he was used to worship. This temple is situated near around 20-acre area.
Durga Mandir, located at Kasia Road near Somnath Temple, Devariya. It's a goddess Durga temple where it's assumed that whatever you wish for come true. Devrahi Mandir, Devariya is a perfect destination for a great time with your dear ones.
Deroha Baba. Deroha Baba Ashram is located at village Mile on the bank of river Sayu in Devariya. Deoraha Baba, one of the greatest yogi sant in the history of India. Deoraha Baba was a hermit from Vrindavan. He was considered to be a spiritual guide to everyone from a pauper to the most popular. Above narrow confines of caste and community, village people as well as important personalities waited for hours to have a glimpse of him. Many popular personalities visit his ashram and takes his blessing, like famous politicians Rajiv Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi visit him at the time of elections to take his blessing. Now, here is a short video clip of an interview taken by me. So I would like to request sir to play it.
Yeah, I'm just playing. Just give me a second.
Pavan sir, we aren't getting the audio. Can you please recheck? Is it without audio?
This is with audio. Pavan sir, will you please start again with the audio?
Pavan sir, click on the share. At the bottom, there is an option, share sound. Tick on that checkbox and then.
Okay, I cannot.
Don't worry, go easy. Just click the share button, you will be able to see.
First, you have to stop the share screen.
Audio.
First, you have to stop your screen sharing.
Okay.
Now again, click on the share button.
Okay.
At the bottom of the left side, there's an option, share computer sound.
Share computer sound. Yes, I found it.
Check on that. Now share screen.
Okay, so I'm just doing. So I have done share this thing sound. Okay, now I'm sharing the screen.
जी मेरा कुछ सवाल
Yeah, it's audible.
Okay.
Good evening and Jai Hind to one and all present over there. This is Sakiba from Sunbeam Varuna Hostel and conducting an interview for the people of Devariya, what the development they need in Devariya. So here we go. जी नमस्ते.
नमस्ते.
आपका नाम?
अंजनी श्रीवास्तव.
आप देवरिया में कितने साल से रह रहे हैं?
जी बचपन से शुरू से ही हम देवरिया के में ही रह रहे हैं.
जी मेरा कुछ सवाल है आपसे. आप कैसा डेवलपमेंट चाहते हैं देवरिया में?
जी यहाँ पे तो वैसे सब कुछ है, लेकिन जो डेवलपमेंट विकास कार्य यहाँ पे हो रहे हैं उसकी रफ्तार बहुत धीमी है और सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत यहाँ पे ट्रैफिक की है और यहाँ हाई एजुकेशन की कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है, ना हॉस्टल की सुविधा है स्कूल कॉलेज में और लंबी दूरी की ट्रेनें यहाँ पे बिल्कुल ही नहीं है, बहुत ही कम है, 2-4 चलती हैं. हम लोग अक्सर अपने किसी कामों के लिए कार्यवश इमरजेंसी में लखनऊ या गोरखपुर की भाग दौड़ करनी पड़ती है. ये प्रॉब्लम यही है वहाँ पे.
जी शुक्रिया अपना सुझाव देने के लिए और अपना समय देने के लिए. धन्यवाद. So what I concluded from this interview is that Devariya basically need the education system, the hospitality management and the constructions of road. So here I end. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Over to you, Saurabh sir.
Thank you so much, Pavan sir. I must thank you, Devashish sir. This is what a beautiful platform. We all are learning mutually. Thank you. So, Khushi and Sakiba, hats off to you. Kamal sir is already very happy. He is putting his round of applause to you. You deserve it, actually. See, children, you people are coming up with the creative ideas. And trust me, this is something which is a push which comes out from each and every boarding school, your own hostel, that you are trying to push your envelope, you are trying to come out of your comfort zone and trying to experiment with something which has never been ever experimented on. So this is something amazing. Devaria, you mentioned so many things and they all are equally good. I don't know for what reason you people were very serious when I got scared at one go, but then you both were amazing. And one thing I would like to tell you, if you don't know, you know, this city, this district has got the mythological importance also, because this was under the Koshal kingdom. And if I go back to Ramayan, the Kaushalya, mother of Ram, she belonged to Koshal. And that was the part of Koshal kingdom, which was later given to Ram. And the elder son of Ram, whose name was Love or Kush, who was the elder son? Fasa diya fir se na? Thakur sir, you know it. Yes, Kush is the elder son. So Kush was given the kingdom, which was named Kushavati. And now it is known as the Kushinagar. Earlier, when it was Kushavati, the Devariya was also a part of Kushavati kingdom. So this is how it has the mythological importance also. Later on in Mahabharata also, one of the part, a very smaller part of this Devariya was a part of the kingdom of Kuru. But then, so this has got something amazing. Yeah, pohe और जलेबी वहाँ बहुत famous है. सुबह के नाश्ते में वहाँ पोहे और जलेबी मिलता है. This is the combination of Devariya. Devariya में रेवड़ी भी अच्छी मिलती है. And it was one of the junctions. If you travel by train, a lot many local trains, they do take a bigger or a larger halt at Devariya, because that is said to be a junction. So this city, by the way, Khushi, do you belong to, or Sakiba, do you belong to Devariya? Anyone? Khushi or Sakiba?
Unmute yourself.
Never mind. So if you belong to Devariya and if you have interviewed the people in Devariya, so we can see the entire country needs more speed and promptness towards development. And how would that development come? Until and unless we keep knocking the officials. And how would you knock the officials? You have to be well versed with the content, with the knowledge. And thankfully, your school is giving you so much of opportunities to knock yourself, check yourself, so that you can keep checking others. And with this, we come to an end of a fantastic tour where we, sitting back at our home during this pandemic, traveled across 4 different cities in the 4 different parts of the country, and which was really amazing, enriching, and informative, definitely. I do congratulate each one of you all, the participants especially. Your research was amazing. And now I have got the clue that you people take this heritage lesson so seriously, because nothing is better than understanding a city and its culture. You will get to know that by the end of the day, the conclusion of any religion and any country is aspire to inspire before you expire. So keep inspiring others, keep that aspiration high, because life has really so many amazing surprises for us. So before the expiry date, we have to do our bit. With this, I rest my case. I hope I could do the justice to the moderation. Thank you so much, Ashish sir. Thank you so much, all the respected superintendents. Thank you so much for all the technical supports. And thank you so much, children, for joining us.
Thank you, Saurabh sir. It was an amazing session. Children, you were just brilliant. Sakiba, that was phenomenal. Your interview was very good. And so was, I mean, so much of research has gone on your, we just left you with an idea of doing something. And what we see as end product is something amazingly surprising. So, you know, I think I'm already in a win-win situation. and your brilliant work, your enhancement of knowledge, you know, this rediscovering your hometown. I have already achieved a lot. Very well done. You know, you are bringing in creativity in that, which is adding flavor to it, and that is something amazing. Well done. You are also getting to know famous people of the places, different places, and Imarti of Jaunpur is the highlight of the occasion. I love sweets. So well done. Thank you so much, you know, hostel superintendents, because you know, your effort has really made a way, because I just happen to share an idea, nothing more than that. But I think you know, you all worked on it and it is showing up so beautifully. So thank you so much. Thank you, Saurabh sir, and all the people, all the staff members. Devashish, phenomenal job, you know, handling, controlling the entire event. That's
Yes.
something which is amazing. And all the children, you know, the idea is that whichever place you belong to, you need to know the history. सतयुग से लेके अब तक जो भी इम्पोर्टेंट है, जो दिख रहा है और जो नहीं दिख रहा है, जो अदृश्य है, उसको जानना, कुछ फैक्चुअल्स होंगे और कुछ महसूस किए जा सकते हैं। दोनों को समझिए, और अगर हमारे सामने व्यक्त कर सकें तो इससे खूबसूरत कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता। थैंक यू सो मच, एंड वी मीट ऑन नेक्स्ट संडे। थैंक यू एंड जय हिंद।